G'day, welcome back to Stony Creek. This week's update is mostly about moving some of our four-legged animals around, not so much these two-legged ones behind me. Hope you enjoy the update and have a good week. I'm heading off down the back to move Tex and his girls. I've got a bit of setup to do before I can move them. Move the water trough, set up the hoses for that, set up an electric fence. It's so much easier now that we've subdivided that back paddock. Tex and the girls are pretty excited about moving today. They've had over 2 weeks in this paddock, and I'll be moving into here. I've just been filling up the tote. That was only about half full. And the bore hose has been in there for less than 40 minutes, so pretty good to bore when it's sunny. So I'll take the hose out of that and put it back on the paddock. I've got to put up an electric fence just down past the water trough that you can see there, and I'll be moving this water trough. I'll clean it out first and I'll move that water trough and set it up so that they've got water in this paddock, which they haven't been into for quite some time. They were in here, and then they went into the long paddock, which is this one here. Oh no, sorry, B4. So back 4. Now that we've got 4 back paddocks. What a beautiful day. It was very cool this morning, but it's nicely warming up now. This is the water trough I've got to move, which is just a cut down tote that were here on the farm when we arrived. Man, that water's cold. I'll just give it a clean up. It can all flow out because I want to move it further down the paddock. Oh, yeah. It's interesting to see this tote overflowed for a whole day because I forgot to move the hose. And the cows bogged it up, and I've sowed down some seeds, which is basically just the cover crop that I used in the pigs, and it's all coming up nicely here, so that'll further improve this spot. This is the new growth coming up in front of where the water trough is. You can see the field peas coming up. There's little brassicas. Growth is fairly slow at the moment because it's so cold in the mornings and in the evenings. It only gets the day to warm up the soil to get some new growth happening, but it is growing, albeit slowly. The things we do for our animals, ideally I'll have permanent water troughs set up in the paddocks, but in the meantime, until we get the irrigation system set up, it's a few hard yards before I'm setting up. So I'll set up this water trough and then set up a fence to subdivide this paddock into 3 lots, and we'll rotate them through them over time. Not to hit the fence so I get an electric shock. Tania, every couple of days she comes down and pinches poo from the paddock, which is good in some ways. I prefer it in the paddock because we've got dung beetles, but she likes it on her veggies. So dual purpose. I'll let her have some poo. That's the water trough hooked up. We're cooking with gas there. I'll have to just tuck the hose underneath the fence line so the animals don't drag it out, and that's connected to the tote up there. And now I'll set up the electric fence through here to break this paddock up. Oh, they found the hay in the back of the side by side. Come on, girlies. Keep going. What's that, Tex? That's so quiet. Oh, they're coming to have a look at the camera. In you pop. Good girls. As I've shown in other videos, I like to, whenever I'm around them, to come down and just interact with them, give them a brush, as they do love a brush, don't you, Panda? Hey? And then this way they'll stay nice and quiet and always be easy to handle, whether it be in the paddock or in yards. You're putting on some weight, Panda. Good girl. You're looking good. Nice and shiny coat. Hey? What about you, Spring Rain? You're looking nice too. You're covered in hay. Hey? Aren't you? Just give them a quick brush because they do love it. I spend a bit of time with them, whether or not they're eating hay or just relaxing in the paddock. I'll come and spend a bit of time with them. And look at your long hair. Hey, you're gorgeous, aren't you? How's that? Spring Rain never really likes it that much, do you, darling? Hey? But Tex is starting to really like a brush. Don't you, Tex? Hey, mate? What's wrong? Hey? What's wrong? Didn't like that bit? Hey? Good boy, aren't you? Tex actually stops eating while he gets a brush. Don't you, mate? He likes it so much. You're such a big boy. Big shoulders on you. Yeah. Hey? That'll do you. Oh, you like that, do you? You like it on your bum. Hey, you like that, do you? Hey. You're a good boy. And Symbol always loves a brush, don't you, Symbol? Hey? You're a beautiful girl. She's the hairiest one out of the lot. She's got such a big, solid neck. Don't you? You do your fro. She's such a gentle girl, Symbol. Aren't you? You've got such a good temperament. Taken a while for you to get used to having your head and ears played with, isn't it? Hey? Look at that. Hey. Oh, that's yummy. You're a good girl, aren't you? Hey? Here you see our little portable sheep yard set up, and it's that time to give them a drench, and I took some poo samples in to have a worm burden count, and it came back at a count of 400, which is about the minimum for when I drench. And then we'll give them a drench because I want to move them to a new paddock, and they haven't been back in the home paddock for probably 9 weeks, I think we worked out. And there's my trusty helper, and we'll go and collect the sheep and see what mess we can get ourselves into. It's always interesting to see how the sheep respond, but they're usually pretty good. And we'll set them up after another month after we drench. We'll give them another worm burden count, and we'll see how that looks. Aren't the sheep good? I think we've just about got all of them here at the gate without the cows. The cows are up on the hill in the distance. It'd be nice to get them without any cows, so we'll count them up and see if we've got them all. But that looks about all of them. let them through, sweet, and then I'll go and check the paddock. Come on, girls. Come and attack Tanya. She's got a bucket of feed.
Hold on.
Yep. And I'll just go and we'll do a quick head count. They follow really well. Old green tag. Poor old green tag. Come on, sweet. I know where they're going. Yeah, they're not in the yards yet. That's them all rounded up. It didn't quite work the way we first imagined it to work, but we got them in the end. I had to set up a bit of a lead wire and make a bit more of a funnel to funnel them in, and have my trusty helper running behind them. And I didn't actually swear too much this time. Herding sheep and getting them into yards sometimes brings out a bit of swear words in me. So this time it was pretty much stress-free, just took a bit more setting up. So we're going in for dinner, and we'll let these guys just have a relax in here, and then we'll come back out and drink. Yuzuri and Spelzer are back with the sheep. The sheep been 24 hours since we drenched them, and they've had an empty out in this paddock because I don't want them to go into the next paddock with a poo full of residual drench. And I think 24 hours is enough to let them purge. There will still be a little bit, but that can't be helped because these guys are going into a really nice paddock next, into the home paddock, which has had about 9 weeks of rest. So I'd love to give it more, but I've got a rotation to keep going, and I've got animals to grow and feed. Some of the sheep, we've identified about 5 ewes that we think aren't too close from lambing, so we'll keep an eye on them. They've got either dots. Here's one with a dot, so I can just see it in the paddock. I don't know if you can see, but she's just starting to bag up. So I'll keep an eye on her. There's another dot one. And you can't, she isn't showing that much, but I'll just keep an eye on her. And there's a few crosses in there, which are the boys, the wethers I'm keeping an eye on to pick which one I'll process first. But apart from green tag, I haven't seen green tag. Where is that? Oh, here she comes. No, that's not green tag. Uh-oh. Oh, she's up the top. No need to worry. Here she comes. Coming down the hill with a couple of other ones. That's 2 of our boys that we've bred. Yep. And the rest are just waiting down the bottom there to go into the next paddock, which once I finish with the pigs, I'll go and check all the gates and the boundary and let them in. These guys are now ready to move in, and judging on their behaviour, I think Yuzuri there is on his hit today, so I'll have to record that. Oh, calm down, girls. Off they go. Oh, there goes Spelzer. I like watching where the animals go when they first come into a paddock. The sheep always love this patch here, which used to be an old bonfire patch, and I sowed it down with some nice grasses and clovers. The clover's really taken off there, and some of the sheep know it's there. Cows go for the kikuyu, but they'll disperse and spread out around the paddock and find their picks. I I'm trying to put into practice some of the things I actually watch on YouTube myself. So if you're watching our channel, it's basically because we watch other YouTubers that give advice on animal rotation and health. And one of the ones I enjoy is Chuck and Sondra from Sheridan Park Farms. I'll put a link to their website, to their YouTube channel. They're a really good resource and entertaining to watch. They do the whole lot. They do meat, birds, chickens, sheep. I don't know if they do sheep. They do cattle, and they do pigs. They do pigs really, really well, and I enjoy their pig content.
Well, in this video here, we're just grabbing some hay to take down to the cows. It's getting pretty cold, it's a bit windy, so we're heading in for the night. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, we'll see you back on the farm.